very high-profile figure in the party, the national chairman. With what we are hearing, I think politics has become in a way that people have to reveal their illness or their sickness to the general public. That is the demand we make in Ghana here from politicians. It can be done voluntarily. I don't know whether he actually asked them, gave them the permission to do that. That is one other question. But
is he in the position to give
that is
them
why
the
I'm coming there. From the ethical point of view, perhaps with what they have explained, I don't think he gave them the authorization to utter this and describe and list the ailment that he's suffering from. It means that the family did this on his behalf. And that is also right, because they are his family members and they are the guardians for Mr. Ntim right now. And they can stand on his behalf, to act on his behalf. So perhaps though he might have not given them explicit authority to do it, they have done it on his behalf because they are taking good care of him. What I would say is that first and foremost is that I wish him a speedy recovery from his ailment so that he can come back and join. But I see it very difficult because cognitive dysfunction is about your inability to coordinate ideas and make sound judgment. And looking at his age, the stress that politicians go in Ghana and in the rest, when elderly persons start getting these disorders, it becomes somehow permanent and progressive and deteriorating.
Whoa.
Because it means that certain parts of the brain are not well nourished. They start dying gradually. We call it lagunas infarction, meaning that some points get infected. There's no blood going there, so some of the cells start perishing slowly. In that way, he may not come back completely and be able to withstand social interactions and involve himself very well unless he gets very extreme medical support to improve blood circulation to the brain, nourish the brain cells very well. Because as at now, he is not a very young person to have new cells that can take up the role of others who die. He's an elderly person. So I wish that they'll find a way of helping him recover his state and be stable. But I would also encourage that they recuse him actually from getting stressed up, because stress is one of the main factors that can cause cognitive dysfunction. And a leader of a party, a national chairman for that matter, does not hold a small position. He needs to be multitasking. He needs to be focused. He needs to have endurance and need to have mental elasticity to absorb all the challenges that would come, because he is heading the party. What I'll say is the party should accept the letter and allow him to recuse himself, but they should rather look at how they can find the right treatment for him to recover what he has or remain there and not get worse so fast. Because these cognitive disorders in elderly people, they worsen with time if you don't get the right treatment. So to me, it's sad that he's been exposed that he has cognitive. I wouldn't do this to him. I wouldn't put my father has a sickness. I wouldn't put it in the public domain. This should have been kept so privately within the party leadership to understand that and not bring it out, because a lay person would just think that he's excuse me, he's getting mad. It's not good. Because once you cannot coordinate your ideas and speak to yourself and make sound judgment, it's not good. So to me, Ntim should really, if he recovers or if the family wants, take him away for treatment, if he can even step aside and take care of his old age. Take care of his old age. But one issue that I want to raise is that, you see, this is very good that they are preventing him from going for that meeting. I like the family because he'll go and embarrass himself. But that is how we advise politicians. When you are sick, try to recuse yourself from involving yourself in this stressful industry that we are. I remember time past, sometimes for decision making in Parliament, people are brought in their sick beds to hospitals. It's not good. You stress the person the more. You expose the person, and his dignity is reduced. So I am very proud of the family saying that he's not going to participate. He cannot go there and cannot function and embarrass himself the more. The only sad thing is that they have exposed why he's sick of, which I am sure he himself didn't authorize them to do it. That is what I have to say.
I see. But from everything you've just said, Doc, it's quite clear that for now, he won't be able to function normally, right? And if he can't function normally, do you agree with those who say that perhaps the family would have to take a decision and say, look, we want to write on his behalf and communicate to the party that he's stepping down in his position as a national chairman? Unfortunately and interestingly, the family is even saying that they can't take that decision on his behalf. I mean, look at the man's condition. But the family, and I've listened to their interviews, they say, look, we can't take that decision on his behalf, whether to resign or to continue in that position as the national chairman of the party. I mean, is that a good
You see, he didn't become chairman
decision to take
by himself alone.
Okay.
There are a lot of factors. There are thousands and thousands of people who contributed for him becoming the chairman, and they wish that he complete his tenure as the chairman, or perhaps continue with his chairmanship. Because, you know, this is politics. You see one person holding a position, you think he's alone, you are making a big mistake. He just coming out to say that, oh, he has resigned. Even the family coming to say it on his behalf is not correct. Perhaps they want to give time to see whether he can get a little bit of stabilization and recover, and then he himself could alter that he wouldn't, or they allow to see the progress of the disease. If the disease is not resolving, is not improving, perhaps the party can also have in their laws, in their constitution, if the chairman cannot function for some number of months or for some reason, he may know it better than me because that is his party, then we may have to allow somebody to act on his behalf till the next election, or we may have to go in to get a new chairman. But for now, just falling sick at the beginning like this, they may like to tweak it to see whether there'll be some improvement for he himself to come back and then continue. But I would advise, from the way it started and his age, as a medical doctor, if he's my father, I would advise him to relax, take care of himself.
And to step down.
And to step down.
But can you hold that kind of conversation with him, looking at his mental state?
You can. That is why I'm saying if he...
And can you trust whatever decision he takes, he tells you to take on his behalf?
You can trust, because as of now, he's in a disorder.
Yes.
He's
mentally challenged.
Mentally challenged.
Yes.
He can't take the decision.
Yes.
The elderly people can get mentally challenged
Okay.
because of aging, because of poor blood circulation. We also even have what we call transient ischemic attack. That could be like a small type of stroke that allows your brain to get disordered for some time and it recovers. But when it recovers, the possibility of you getting it again is very high, and then the rest. So that's why I'm calling that he should stay away from any stress.
Okay.
Take care of himself.
Right.
If he himself cannot take the decision, with time, if the family manages with his physicians and they manage and he gets better, that is when I think that my call for him to just take care of himself and allow politics to continue with other group of people, it should be the best way to go for him. To me,
Isaac, what options are left for your party? I mean, he's done 2 years, right? He's done 2 years and a bit as national chairman.
Yeah.
And so he has about a year and a few months to end his stewardship. So what does the party constitution say? Do you have to go for, some kind of a, how do you call it, an election to elect another national chairman, or somebody will have to act till the end of, I don't know, what does the party constitution say?
So, Muru, first and foremost, let's get this right.
Okay.
This letter is authored by the family.
Right.
And so whatever information that has been put in the letter didn't come from the party. It is the family that puts the information there. So we should be very mindful that the party has not put any information out there that speaks to the health condition of our national chairman for which reason we are discussing. This was an authored letter by the family. Second, the family made mention of the state of the chairman. But as to the extent of that health condition, it's unknown. So all that we are doing here, or what doctor has tried to explain to us, is just the general position of such words and what it means. But to his specific health condition, we are not in a position to place it on the record as is being discussed. So it is not fair to disclose or to make it appear that he doesn't have the mental frame of mind to take decisions. It is not fair to make it appear as if he is in a state of inability. All that the party...
You don't trust the family?
No, not that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that Doc has given us the medical explanation of the condition.
Right.
And it depends on the level or the state of that particular condition.
Right.
And so you can have that cognitive dissonance, what have you, but it would be on different levels or grades.
Okay.
The only thing is that as a family, looking at the pressures of the work, they don't think it is prudent for him to be able to attend such programs and chair. And I have been a secretary to a board. When you write letters for and on behalf of the board, it doesn't mean that even if the board chairman, you say, I write this inviting you on behalf of the board chairman to attend the meeting, it means that necessarily the board chairman will be present to chair.
Right.
But the point is that meetings are supposed to be called under the authorization of the chairman. And so you never have any idea as to the conversation that had happened between the general secretary and the party functionaries that necessitated the call for the meeting. And nobody has said that in the state of the chairman, if he's not able to attend the meeting, he will be dragged into a meeting to chair. When we have first, second, and third vice chairman, that is why all the parties have provision for first vice and second vice and so on and so forth. And so it is only good that we have the information that chairman is not too well. We wish him well. He will come back and bounce strongly. The decisions as to whether he continues or he steps down is a matter of time, and it is his decision.
Okay.
But as a party, we have the constitutional capacity to withstand the absence of a chairman.
Okay.
We have provisions as to how we follow through with the absence of a chairman. The general the National Council is going to meet. And so once they meet and these informations are brought to the bear, then they will take the next decisions as to who takes responsibility for how long and so on and so forth. And then they will also engage the family and make sure that we provide our chairman the best medical care. All we want is that we get our chairman back in good strength to be able to live his life. Yeah. And then the party, if as you are saying, the next elections is only a year away. So what is it about chairmanship that you want to put someone in a state that would affect his overall life? I think the party knows better to protect him and to preserve him and wish him well and make sure that he bounces back to be able to support us with any other way and form.
Okay.
And so we leave it to the direction of the leadership of the party.
So what it means is that today's meeting would be deciding the way forward.
Definitely to be discussed.
And you have said a number of options are open to the party, and the party will look at all those options. But as part of the decision-making process, would you expect the party, for instance, to ask or to probe a bit further? Maybe you want to look at his medical condition, who is his medical doctor, what is the medical doctor saying, etc. Would you expect the party to go ahead and look at all of that? I think the
party has full view of his health.
Okay.
He's been in daily or regular contact with the leadership of the party.
Okay.
It's just a matter of the fact that the meeting that is supposed to be held today, maybe the family felt or they got the indication that he may have to be personally present, for which had triggered the need to put this on notice, that we will not make him available for the purpose of the meeting, even if you intended or not for him to be present. So they put this out there. But in terms of his state, the party has good view. Even if we don't have all the details, as you are saying, post this communication, the party will engage. Adelaide is a member of parliament. We meet every day in parliament. And this is a huge figure. He's the national chairman of the party.
Yeah.
And he's been with the party from day one.
Yeah.
And so everything about him is the party. And it is in the interest of the party to promote him, to protect him, and to get him well. And so everything we are going to do will be to the interest of our national chairman.
Well, we can only wish him well.
I think we can wish him well. I think the exercise I did here was just to talk on the point of view of a doctor. I'm advising him just like a patient to me. Without any.
No,
that's
it. No, I get that.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
Very loose.
We can only wish him a speedy recovery. But you see, this is what health can do to us. I mean, you look at someone like Stephen Ntim. You look at the number of times he's been wanting to become national chairman. I think he only succeeded at his 4th attempt, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct.
And what health can do to us. He's struggling to finish his term, and it's quite unfortunate. But we can only wish him well that he's able to bounce back and lead the NPP into the next elections.